Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I know I've posted a video for today, and I've decided somebody had asked me about a relationship reading, and so I'm not going to mention any names, but I'll kind of go through the process as when I do just a relationship in regards to one person and another, and for them this is a love relationship, or to know where the relationship is headed, where it's going, what's been going on, and what's needed to move forward. Okay, so in light of that, I still do the same process. I typically will respond with any cards that I feel drawn to, and pick up the messages as we go along. The messages, whatever's being shown to me at this time. And so I guess I actually wanted to do a few things, try out a new system on my phone camera, as well as the audio, and there's a light too, but I don't know if it works. So what I've started out is I went through the cards and I picked out whatever cards were chosen, I chose because I was led to. So the first two cards that came out are in the position of where you at right now within this relationship. So right now, the two cards that came forward were the Seven of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. So what in a relationship, what this is saying, the Seven of Pentacles came out first, and there is some sort of inner turmoil going on. It's more of an instigation of, there's an instigation of other people within this relationship, and this person is trying to get to you. What I mean is the person that you are longing for is trying to get to you, but they are being held back by either a group of people or one person, and they're doing this on purpose. They know exactly what they want to be doing. They're not, the interest of the person in mind has nothing to do with what they're how they're trying to lead them. What they're trying to do is really just talk them into different direction, because it's what they want. It's not what is in the highest interest of this other person. It's what these people want, the friends. And often our friends will do that, and that's why I find it so important to go within and really sit down and ask yourself the messages. But this person is really trying hard to get to you. Like he's having to go through a lot of inner conflict, but it's because it's being confused by those around him. Like nobody's listening to what they want, yet they want him to listen to what they are trying to force or guide them to do, and then that's just not working. So this person is really coming out of that phase, because what they have been trying really hard to do for the last 6 to 8 months was really try to, it might even have been longer than that, but it seems to be on a more steady, fast-paced, where before it might have been a little slower, and they might have not really known the direction, but they really were trying to build up their world, their possibilities, their financial structure, meaning stability, meaning that they have an offering to present, because they really find you very attractive, very I'm almost going to say goddess like. They have this they admire you, they admire your tenacity, they admire the way that you move, they admire the way that the way that you truly have gone through a process that's taken you to a place of self-love and respect. And so perhaps you've walked away in a manner of, not from all of it, but from the confines of, I'm going to say, the group, the community that it has been plaguing on this relationship. Because there is a distrust, and you are correct in listening to your distrust. And so this person also understands this very much so. There's a lot of love within this relationship for you. But what they most respect for you is the fact that you have grown and you've committed. And another part of this is kind of what they've tried to do, seems to be, is mirror your journey. And I'm not saying they want to take the same journey, but they've kind of watched it in the background. And as they've watched this in the background, it's really made them more aware of themselves and of where they are in the situation. And perhaps even an honesty and a truthfulness. So they're coming to terms with that. So this person really respects you. They don't want you to change. They don't want you to be anything that you're not. And they also don't want you to feel as though you are a second thought or a second chance, or well, maybe there's going to be a second chance, but a second choice, because you're not. This person, perhaps you came at a time where they really thought that there was not going to be a lot of love in their life, and it's taken them by surprise. And so they've had to go through a different process. And so kind of what they got, it's very interesting, just the image that I got. And it's sort of, okay, so I can picture a male figure in a kitchen with a female figure. I don't really see the female figure. I can more see the male figure. But it's because it almost seems like this isn't in their home, but it almost seems as though they're in there just to kind of make everybody okay. This person's trying to please everybody but themselves, or they were. And then they kind of said, you know what, back off, back away. Let me worry about myself. Let me worry about my journey. And so that's really what has transpired. And the other message that they've come is they are so drawn and so attracted to you, that magnetic energy. It's just this light. It's like your light is connected to their light. So this could be a twin flame connection. It's a connection that's meant to be. It's a connection that you should be coming together if. And so when we talk about things like karma or pre-making, our life plan when we come down into this world, into this lifetime, this was a commitment that you made previously. So when you happened upon one another, you really did recognize one another, and that energy was so strong. And it's really based on a calmness. It's not even, I'm saying that it's very passionate and it's very magnetic, but there's also a sense of peace. It's just a peacefulness of, it just feels good, or it feels right. That's how I'm going to put it. So the card that represents the female side, wow. The card that represents the female side is the Spirit of the Earth, and the male side is the Warrior of Water. So you've both had a few journeys that you've had to go through, and that's kind of what, when we're talking about the magnetic qualities within here, is that your energy has actually shifted. And on the feminine side, the shifting became very, very calm. So when this person sees you, they see you as that calm person. Now, you may not have always been that calm person, but that's who you've become. And that's the person that they're really far more drawn to than originally, because there may have been fear in the beginning. On either side, one side, both sides, there may have been fear. And if that's being the case, that you've done a lot of work on yourself to really calm those down, to really calm away some of the challenges that you've faced, and that there's this great, again, this person has so much respect because of the challenges and having moved through this. Meanwhile, he's gone through this change as well, and that's been in a change in energies as well. He's coming out of the depths of the water. He's coming out of the darkness of the water. I mean, where he had blocked off his emotions, where he had blocked off his truth feelings, he's decided now to relate more to these feelings and become in touch with those feelings, but they're all new to him. So he is proceeding. Spirit just said, proceed with caution. He is proceeding forward with caution, because there is a cautionary tale to be told there. And part of that cautionary tale really became about sort of lessons that he had learned from the past. And every time he learned a lesson, and in a sort of interesting way, it became like a feather in his cap, but not in a good way. It became I'm going to remember that. I remember not to do that. I remember how I felt here. I remember I did this and that went wrong. This is bad. He switched from that side, and that was almost from the unknown. It's like, she likes me, so I'm going to like her back. That, and that's almost like, being in high school. That's where the attraction comes. And it's because of that magnetic quality that they decided to make an adjustment and to move forward, to move into the direction of the relationship. Now, the two cards that are in the position of, what, has been overshadowing this relationship, and it is the wisdom of the horse. And so this person, this gentleman, it's been him to have always thought, I'm never going to change. I'm always going to be this way. I don't want this. I don't want that. He had all these instructions, or people have guidelines. Oh my gosh, I remember saying to somebody, you're going to meet somebody. This was years ago, but she was going to meet somebody. And a year or two later, she came back to me and she said, well, you said I was going to meet somebody. I didn't meet anybody. And as I was doing the cards, and I said, well, what are you doing in order to meet somebody? And she went, do you mean that I actually have to open up? And I went, yep, you do. You can't shut yourself up and meet somebody. And truly, it truly means making eye contact every now. And it doesn't mean you need to flirt, that you need to be, somebody that you're not, but you need to be open to the conversation, open to, hi, how are you doing? Or, any sort of conversation. And so where all of a sudden this person is now becoming more tame, where that's not what, or more free, and that's not, well, that's a good message. That's not what their intention was, what they sought out or thought out within this world. There's too many people around them that have been so hurt in, situations. And so they've just seen the bad side of things. And you can just focus on the bad. That's up to you. But you yourself, as the feminine side, is really this down to earth, unassuming, and just goes about making decisions and not worrying about that if not focused on the fact that this person needs to maybe change their opinion or change their mindset. They're just going with the flow. They're not, instead of chasing anymore, you've really calmed down. So there's been a lot of transformation within these relationships. There will be a huge transformation within the relationship, the male side, and that is the wisdom of the snake. And this is, going back to those primal instincts that you have literally opened up. It's just released all of these things. So, now they're kind of where they thought that they were probably more free. Now they've become more tame, but it scares the daylights out of them. They're just not really sure. They've lived a long time in order, to build up all of these, commitments to themselves, to staying in, protected in that safe zone. And yet they want to be able to provide. So they're working towards that. And it really is walking away from, the people that don't serve you, the people that don't have integrity that are around you, the people that are almost stealing their thunder. I do get this feeling that this person is extremely gifted, extremely talented, that they are, they know what they want in many areas of their life, but it was this heart connection that really threw them for a loop, because they really didn't expect it was ever going to come. And then it has. So it's, kind of gone for a loop. So that was kind of the start of the relationship, the beginning where everybody's at. So now we've come to a choice, an area of decision. And the first decisions is this decision of honesty, and two people saying, you know what, it's time to get real. It's either we're going to make this relationship work or we're not. And so we both get to need to decide. We both get to either find a way or back off. And you need to open up and listen. So there needs to be a conversation, and an honest conversation. It's the Two of Swords. It's making clarity or bringing clarity into a situation that is going to either further the connection or move you towards a new connection. And this is paired up with the Knight of Wands. So this is about action. In the back of the Knight of Wands, though, in here is the Hierophant. So that is really about, so there's choice of taking action, and it's either take this action or I take that action. I always say there's never a wrong choice, but I'm going to say within the one choice, I think in order to make the best possible choice, first of all, you need to set the intention. You need to ask, what is the best possible choice? I'm asking for the best possible choice within this situation, and getting guidance from, either a counselor, guidance from within, guidance from, a higher being, guidance from somebody that steps outside of their ego. That's the only kind of guidance you can take, because you've listened, or they have listened to enough guidance from friends that aren't really friends. They're really only looking out for themselves. And I do think that they have friends that take so much advantage of them. In order to move forward, they get to choose where they're moving. They're moving to. It's really very interesting, because I'm now getting a whole other scenario. There's a whole other part to their life and it's intertwined with this. And this group of people, or group that was or is around, it can't be too much around right now, but this group of people really ask a lot, because this person gives, and they give unconditionally. I almost said they almost give unconditionally. They give unconditionally, and it is very difficult for them to say no, because they don't want to hurt anybody. And the reason they don't is because they know what it's like to be hurt, so they don't want to hurt anybody. So that may be part of that decision with choosing yourself or this other person that they're being pushed towards is because they don't want to hurt anybody. Yet the person that they love the most, if they actually just sat down and had a little conversation with themselves, they would realize the person they're going to hurt the most is themselves, for not making the right choice aligned with their heart. Okay, so that's where they are in the action area that needs to take place, is to really sit back and think and get some advice from a non in the States they say bipartisan, I would say outside of the ego. And it's living outside of the ego, acting outside of the ego is a journey that's unbelievably incredible. I have to show you this stone. It's a heart, and I did get this from my friend Bart as well. I do collect hearts, and this was the most beautiful, and I've had it forever, and I still can't believe I have it, but I do, and I love it. So I just wanted to share it. Okay, so moving forward, the first action step is really, and I'm going to say on both sides, because I do think that both sides need to do this, that you've gone through this process of learning to be powered by, I'm going to say, emotions, but not in the way of it's taking as sitting back and responding, and with pride. So thinking, making a thought process, or having a thought process of making the decisions, and coming out of this water and allowing the water to move you forward. So by making, because swords are about thoughts and words and conversations, it's all of a sudden, as you're standing up for yourself, you can actually see that there is calmness when you work with your emotions. There's a calmness when you sit back and you really take a look at the whole of the situation. Now, the next card that comes up is the Seven of Cups, and here it is right here. And what this card is saying is that at this point, or moving forward within your life, within the connection, and it's almost as though is that you put so much focus on the fact that you're, please, 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 I just want, rather than clarifying what it is that you just want, what it is as a whole, what you want, how you want to heal this, if that's your choice of healing the connection. How can I heal this connection? How can I solidify this connection? How can I make this a real connection? There's a sense that this person actually, because of their trauma or their past hurts, that they may believe that you have a lot of choice out there, and that may be largely because of of your energy, of the way that spirit responds to you. Somehow they connect and can see that, and it's what they're saying is, choose me, yet they need to choose you as well. So it's not just one side, it's both sides having to sit back and saying, what is it that I truly want? What is my truth? That's what it's about. What do I really love? What is it that I respect? What do I really need? And is it love? Is it true love? And work on that. Just because you have choices doesn't mean you have to pick them all. That doesn't make sense neither. Just there can be choices, but choose the one that spirit guides you towards. Choose the one that is going to bring you the most love, and they may bring you more challenges too, and that's fine. Just because you become in a relationship doesn't mean challenges stop, then, because they don't. It just means you're more willing to go forward through with all of those challenges. It's somebody that you want to work through the challenges, some that you want to work with a commitment. And the final card within the tarot reading is the Knight of Pentacles. And so what this person is really wanting is that, I got to see this for a second, is that what they're hoping, is what they're offering. They kind of feel less than, and so they're not at this self-love stage where they see you at, but they're hoping that what they have is enough, and they don't even know that what's not important or is less important is this value. What you value more is what's in the heart, and that's what you want to know is there enough within this relationship that will keep this relationship going, will keep this relationship filled with love, and always trying to find the answers and solutions, and building on. I apologize for this, but the word sex keeps coming out at me, and so the romance angel card is saying that this really is true love, and you need to trust that where this relationship is going, how this relationship plays out. You need to trust and have faith, because that's the way it's supposed to be, and there are lots of lessons to be learning within this relationship. You're also being challenged. They want you to be playful. Spirit says you need to bring some playfulness and stop being so serious in order to recapture this romance. Go back to that inner side, that's inner love, that's not so hardened. I think this has more to do with the gentleman in this case, the masculine energy, because I think that they've lost that sense of childishness, childlike qualities. They've lost that innocence, and they really do want to go through, and that's one of the things that you bring to them, and one of the things that they really respect you for. And the final card in the romance angels is this is true love. And all of the cards that if you kind of look at them, this is very dreamily looking into one another's eyes, and spirit guiding it. Playful, again, dreamily looking into one another's eyes, looking into truth, and this one as well. And it's all about looking into one another's eyes and finding the truth, seeing the truth, understanding the truth. It's sort of like, I want to look at you and talk to you. I want to know that what you're saying is true. I want to see, my mother always says, I want to see the whites in your eyes. And so that's what this is about. It's really getting to know each other. Oops. And so the first card from the Hermit Tarot is love me. So that's putting yourself out there, and I'm sorry for all the things. I'm sorry for the hurt. I'm sorry for the, mistaking. I'm sorry for, hurting you. And by doing that, they really are in a lot of pain. But I think there's a lot of pain in other areas of their life that I think they've lost a lot at this point. And so I think they have a different, I'm going to say, a different perspective on situations, and they're really opening up to your perspective. And this may have to do with, certain losses and how you do see them as lessons, or, things that you needed to go through. And so they are in pain, and they really are sorry. And we talked about at the beginning as they've been listening to this wrongful advice. So I think they're sorry, and they're in so much pain because they've listened to this wrongful advice. And they're starting to see that people are not acting in his best interest. They're acting in their own best interest, and probably because of, the other side, this other person that may be involved, is playing that game, and you've learned to walk away from that game. It's not a game you want to be involved in, and there's a lot of integrity. And right now, this person is still afraid to talk to you. And that's because they know they've made mistakes, and they know they've taken wrong advice. They know that. They know all of these things. And so there isn't perfect. That's a good ending to this reading. So perfectly, what they want is a fresh start. And that's going to begin with the communication that has to happen, the honest communication, one that's filled with integrity, one that's filled with truthfulness, and just start all over again. It's kind of like time out. Let's get back to this place where we really knew each other. Okay, so that reading was for a friend, and I'll let them know who it is, but I'm going to share it as well, just so you have an idea, kind of basic idea of when I do my relationship readings. And thank you very much. Namaste. God bless. Have an incredible day. And if you like the video, subscribe. And that's it, folks. Okay, bye.